Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and this is The Road to the Record, where I work to achieve mastery of 10 games in a hunt for the best score of the Decathlon. If you like what you see, remember to hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Let the games begin. This is Pro Cycling Manager 2018. We're in career mode, episode number 40. With the injury, we're going to need to replace one rider here. Oh, it's a 5-stager. Let's go back for a second here and let's see where we're at. Who did I lose? Veldeman. Oh, that's right, the fracture. It was supposed to be mid-March, but he was pushed back to the end of March on his recovery. Okay, so we're missing Veldeman, huh? Let's try this again. So Veldeman's missing. Who is going to replace him? Well, let's see what we have for this race. We've got a sprint, a team time trial. That might be our replacement need right there. Somebody in the hills, somebody in the hills. That's not a mountain. And a regular time trial. So we need a time trialist. No doubt about it. That's the need. So who's it going to be? Well, if we go like this, Simpson is the missing link. Not that he's great, but he's definitely better than these other guys. And he's okay in the hills. Without Veldman, it drops our level a little bit, but we've still got Van Hemelen, Osorio here. We've got Conchi here, so we've still got a lot of our bigger names. No objective on this one. This is just straight racing for points here. I have none of the favorites. All the way down at 9th favorite is the Katusha rider of... Oh, did I already lose track of who that was? I'll need to see that list again to remind myself who I was just looking at. But Katusha's here. Restrepo. I caught that on the list. I didn't get a chance to look at the rest of the top 10. Just noticed that none of my riders were among the favorites. Nice race day condition, though, across the board. Van Gitteken, Van Hemelen a little bit down. But there's no action early on. We have a Category 1 climb that looks relatively harmless, so a lot of the ratings have been ramped up a bit because, yeah, that's not a Category 1 climb. That's like a Category 4 climb, maybe a Category 5 climb in other places. 1K to go! Oh, wait, no. There's the finish line. We'll see you later. Speaking of seeing it later, I'll be back. I don't think this Category 1 climb is going to do any damage whatsoever, so it's probably just a pure sprint finish. So I'll see you at the end of the stage. Alright, back with 15 kilometers to go. The field has split over and over again, and can we avoid it? Oh, yes, nice. Van Gitteken and Garrison have been dropped. Bowl and Simpson were dropped earlier, but they came back with the group. You can see there's all sorts of splits up here. So trying to get these guys back up there by having Garrison push and Van Gitteken follow him. If they make it, they make it. If they don't, it's okay. Because I really didn't bring a sprint team here. We are fighting for the overall. Without Van Gitteken, I only have C. Spoll to contend the sprint at the end, but there are 2 riders still away from the breakaway. They've only got 40 seconds on us, though, with 10 kilometers to go. And the peloton, you can see, is in the low 20s. So the fact that it's that low and I have 5 riders in is actually a really good sign for us for the overall, as well as our chances even just on the stage today. Now, Bull will obviously be the one to follow. Conchi is the guy that I have my hopes on for the overall because he's a good time trialist and good on hills. So I'm actually going to have Conchi follow Bull, and then Bull will follow Osorio, who's the strongest right now. Osorio will then follow Simpson, and then Van Hemelen will lead us out. I'm going to get him to start pushing. Now, let's take a look back and see how far back are these. They're too far back, so I'm just going to set you two to auto here. 10K to go. They're not going to catch up. They're the group that's 45 seconds down. Now, the front two riders are 45 seconds up, but they could be caught. For one thing, we have more riders chasing them than the other way around. Speaking of, it's time to push that, right? Oh, it's back together. Still a minute gap, though. So the gap's growing. 5K. 5K already. What the heck? How did that happen so fast? Okay, Simpson, push it out. 4K to go. And Hemlin just ride. 3K to go. 3K to go. Osorio, Simpson, thank you. Simpson, go to auto. And sprint. You're going to pull Conchi with you. And Conchi's going to sprint too. Bull, come on, come on. Oh, the breakaway's going to win it. We're going to be just outside top 5. It should be still. Yeah, 5th place. So the breakaway group wins it by a few meters. One rider hanging on. We get 5th on the stage. See, Patrick Bevan is there, so EF Education First is here. Conchi took 8th, so he's inside the top 10. That's a good start. Alex House is here for Trek. So there's a handful of World Tour teams at this race. Dimension Data. We got the CCC team. But 2 riders inside the top 10 here on the first stage. Most of the team in amongst it. There should be that 30 or so riders already, just the only ones left in contention. So that'll be good that there are going to be some time splits as we go forward. Remember, 5-stage race. 2 of them are time trials. 1 team, 1 individual. So the time trial is going to be a big, big factor today. There you go, 35 riders, and then a minute 24 gap. Look at the teams real quick. Yeah, so Katusha, Dimension Data, Trek, EF Education First, UAE, Team Emirates is here, and Astana, Bahrain Merida. So there's actually Mitchelton Scott. So a lot of World Tour teams are at this one, but from the looks of things, they didn't exactly bring their top-notch riders to this race. So we should still be fairly competitive in this one. Victories, I'm not so sure about that, but I think we can definitely have a decent finish in the overall standings. And it'll be nice to have a decent finish in something other than a sprint race, as that has been the team's history up till now. So this is a good profile building race as we're going to head into stage number 2, and I think we'll see here in just a second. Yes, it's the team time trial, so the black with the white, that is the team time trial. So it's only 11 kilometers, so it's short, so it's 99%. It's flat out, and we are up there amongst the top average time trial ratings. Alright, so paused here before we get underway because we need to get our team set. It's possible that we're the last team out. Katusha has just gone. We were at the top of the timesheets as a team anyway. So here's what we need to do. First thing, select all. And we're going to set this to 99s because it's only 11.3 kilometers and completely flat. I've not seen the race conditions. It's tailwind, but only 3 kilometers per hour, so very little effect, if any. Now, what I need to do is I need to go kind of rider by rider and take the strongest time trialist, which Van Ginniken is not, so we're going to cut his time down. Bull is up there a little bit, but we'll cut his time down some. Garrison's definitely not. Conchi is. So Conchi's going to make a nice long pole here, but he is the one overall that we're kind of relying on, so I don't want to go too hard with that. Simpson's okay for time trialist, so we'll just pull him back a little bit. Sorio, Van Hemlen is good and has good stamina. So there you go. These few guys, the team is pretty balanced on that. Conchi's really the only one that's always ahead. Otherwise, everybody's in that mid, upper 60s. And we are ready to get rolling. Max speed, 11 kilometers per hour. And away they go with Van Ginniken on the front to start. Sees Bull has Young Riders jersey, probably. Right now, the standard time is Mitchelton Scott. Katusha Albison could contest that, as CCC, I think, just came in second, or was that UAE coming in third? Conchi on the front, probably pulling a little bit more speed. Yeah, 54 kilometers an hour. We're getting 52, 53 at the front now. So just a little bit faster there. But everybody's doing just fine to get towards the end here. So Osorio pulling 53. 3.5 kilometers to go. Still haven't seen a time from Katusha. You can see it's going to be pretty close. We're within seconds, top to bottom. We're within a minute, top to bottom. Katusha goes level with Mitchelton Scott and considered top. And here comes the finish line. 14 seconds down, 7th place. That's not bad. That's not bad. It's down a little bit, though. But it's definitely in amongst those better teams, and considering I have no strong time trialists, when we only have a single rider that's in the 70s. We're out of the top 10, though, in the overall right now. Katusha on the top 3, CCC, the next 2. And you can see there's only that handful of riders. Remember, there was only 35 riders there in stage 1 that didn't lose a minute and a half, and that helps. Helps a lot. But we are out of it for the moment, but we can certainly get back in it in these following stages. The climbs, if we have guys in the finish group, it's not going to be the same finish group we had in that last stage. And then the individual time trial. If we do a little bit better there, we could see our way back into the top 10 on this one. Time-wise, 14 seconds down. We'll see how far back that puts us in the overall standings here in just a moment. Seaspol is 5th in the young riders, as Conchi and Osorio are there with him. Van Hemlen 2 seconds down. There we go. As a team, we are now 2nd, so we were the last ones finishing the stage. As Katusha moves into the lead on that competition. That's because the 2 of us were the only ones that had 3 riders left in that final grouping of 35 in stage number 1. Of course, that's calculated by the first 3 riders that cross the line. Or by the 3rd rider that crosses the line, what their time was. No, it's a combination of all 3. Well, anyway, so here's your top riders, and we come in between 41st, 46th. Van Hemlen loses 2 seconds, being the 6th rider to cross the line. Van Ginniken loses 2 more as the 7th rider crossing the line. But into the general. There you go. So we're just outside of the top 10 right now, filling the 11th through 15th place in the standings. So those original, it's actually down to 34 now in any sort of contention. Whoever that 35th one lost considerable time. I thought everybody was within a minute, but maybe I miscounted. Or they withdrew. I don't know. Or they were the one member of their team that finished well behind the actual team. You know, they were that 6th or 7th rider. So we're down to 34 in some sort of contention. We're still in a decent place here, especially for top 10. I mean, we're 1 second out of 10th with a number of riders. Let's see, results. Richie Port throws in the towel. He could have thrown in the tire too. Hopefully a bike tire, not a car tire. At the Catalunya. Just that race took place fairly recently in real life. And in my Pro Cyclist series as well, not so long ago. So we're going to move on to stage number 3. I believe stage 3 is the hill stage. So we've got a repetitive loop 4 times over this hill climb, plus a little hill climb before it. So there's definitely going to be some more action in this one. It's 153 kilometers. Swerble and Gouillard hitting fitness peaks. And yeah, there you go. We've got a guy in the top 10 with Conchi among the favorites. So yes, it looks like we could be in contention for this race after all. We could be facing a real shot at getting into the top 10 overall. Especially if I play this right. Because none of these guys are terribly strong. Conchi's a 74 in the hills, and I've got a couple other riders that are close behind. And it looks like the favorite's a 76.
Hello to one and all. It's an undulating route, so it will be a tactical race.
Now, it's going to be quiet for probably the first half of the race, but I definitely expect it to pick up. So I'm not going to wait till the final climb, but we'll probably wait to the penultimate climb and pick up at that point. That way enough time has passed. By then, I think the field will already be starting to split. Back a bit earlier than expected because more damage has been done than expected. And Seaspole, who just went to get water, was the latest to get eliminated from the group. It started with a fall from Garrison well in the back, and as I was trying to get him back up into the group, and then as he was making contact with the group, I was like, okay, now get water. And then the peloton started breaking apart, and he was at the back still. So Garrison got dropped, and then moments later, Van Hemling was dropped. And then Van Ginneken and Simpson were all dropped, and this was all the second climb. Third climb of the day now, technically. Second of the looping climb, as we just get over the top here. So, my riders, my group was getting smaller and smaller, and Seaspole was supposed to be getting water. And then, same thing happened. And now I've got Osorio and Conchi are all that's left in a peloton of 20 riders. Now, you are going to protect, but you also need to get water. So please don't run out of energy. There's only 20 riders left in the peloton now, so he doesn't have very far back to go to get the water. Osorio technically is the better one over Conchi, but Conchi's got a clear advantage in the time trial, and with the final stage being a time trial. These two were my hopes for the day anyway, but I was really hoping that it was just the final climb where I might be down to these two, not halfway up the second or third climb of the day, basically just halfway through that process. But we do finally have water for these two, and fortunately with under 50k to go, that should be the last time I have to deal with water in this race. Some of these other guys, they're set to auto, they'll get water as they need, but there's a minute 15 gap to the peloton for C's Bull. Even if he comes back, I'd almost rather they don't, because there's 11 other riders here in the group that I'd rather not have in contention at the front. With just 20 riders and 2 of them here, we're looking pretty good for the overall standings, moving up a good fair bit. Now here's your breakaway. We have Boda, Caccioti, Modzarif, Carboni, Canola, Tecchio, and O'Donnell. Only one rider, O'Donnell, is on a World Tour team. So the breakaway, though they still have 2 minutes, should get caught in one of these last 2 climbs. And the peloton is split again. There's only 10 riders in the peloton at the moment. And I don't know what happened to Seasbull. Did he leave the group behind? I think he did. I think he's catching up to this group ahead of him, which are the remnants of the peloton, which just split again. No, it's back to 19. So apparently Seasbull was left behind by his group. Okay, we'll speed things up a little bit for right now, as no one's really attacking. This is all attrition based. Make sure we don't get dropped here.
The riders are in a portion above 10%. What's going on? Several riders are flat on the ground.
Big fall in the back.
Some sort of incident. A rider has just fallen.
12 riders. It's splitting again. 14 riders as we reel in some of the breakaway group, and we're back to 19. So contact is there, but not everybody. So it's splitting and coming together, splitting and coming together. So a lot of yo-yoing here in the group, but just 4 riders left, and we pulled back 30 seconds this time, but that's still a minute and a half. So this could be an interesting finish. There's a real chance that those 4 riders could stay ahead and hang on to this one, depending on how strong they're feeling at this point. I would venture to say that the winner should be coming from my group, but maybe not. I mean, they just pulled out 10 more seconds.
Falling behind. A team leader is falling behind.
I suppose what I need to figure out here is Carboni. How far down are you? 2:14. 39 seconds for Canola. So Canola is the threat at 39 seconds. They could take over the race lead if we don't pull back enough time, and they're back out to 2 minutes. Garrison.
Somebody says that a rider is down.
Yeah, there you go. So Canola, O'Donnell, Tecchio, Carboni, all now into the top 4 in the virtual standings. And that lead is growing. I don't want Osorio to get eliminated chasing them down when I'm nowhere near the favorite. We've got to have somebody in this group that's actually going to give some sort of chase. But these riders are well beyond our level. There's Bettiol. Bettiol. Brother? I don't know. Okay, just about to the base of that final climb. The descent will not be all the way back down, but it'll be partway down again. Okay, so an 89 is not even really strong enough, so we're pushing pretty hard here, and that gap is going to come back down. You can see it's already back inside of 2 minutes now that we're climbing. I need to keep an eye out on Osorio. I will use his energy gel during this climb.
But as often happens, they're all getting back in the saddle.
A little bit of recovery right now. Here's one of the sections, and then it's really going to ramp up here in a little bit and stay that way through most of the rest of the climb.
A rider has
So,
just climbed
Osorio,
into the support vehicle. His race
let's
is
go
over.
ahead. 5K to the top. Yeah, let's go ahead and use your gel now. Down to 13 riders here in the group. Go ×2. The lead is down to 1.5 minutes or
This
thereabouts.
climb features some dreadful percentages.
Minute 50. Here comes an attack. Here comes an attack.
A small
Okay,
group of
we gotta
riders are
push.
trying to get clear of
We
the
gotta
bunch.
push. Group of
Watch
4
out, a team
is
member's
away.
falling behind.
Don't let him get away. There you go. There you go. There you go. Get up there. Yes. Okay, one rider is getting away. Conti. We're nearly to the top here. I don't know if I want to attack
There
much
are
longer.
just 10 kilometers left.
We're looking for a top 10 overall, not for the win overall, so we'll stay here. It's group of 9 now, chasing that one rider, and there's the contact we needed. Osorio's gonna maybe get dropped here. He might just hang on, but Conchi's okay. 10 riders chasing 4 still, but they are down to a 49-second lead. If that stretches it all, though, we're right back where we were. Remember, one of them is 39 seconds down overall, so that's one rider moving up, but a bunch of riders moving backward. Osorio is still here, so he's one of the 10 riders hanging on or thereabouts. We set him to auto, where he can try to recover. Actually, no, not auto, but just stay put. Just try to ride easy here and survive. Conchi can handle himself for right now. Not worried about winning the stage. I'm just worried about the overall time. And if Osorio's up there also, that could be 2 riders into the top 10.
And off he
That's a lot more
goes.
points.
He's giving it one last go.
Conti's attacking again. So Conchi, come on. Join that split. Join that split. Come on. Come on. Get up there. There you
And
go. There
was
you
the
go.
back burst for the final sprint.
1.5K. 1.5K. We're almost there. We're almost there. Come on. Okay, now sprint, Conchi. Sprint.
A great victory. He didn't overextend himself.
Breakaway group hangs on. They win. Conchi should be on the same time as these guys. Osorio gets dropped at the end.
The tailenders are still coming in.
He'll be a little bit further behind. But Conchi's in the group. Yeah, Alberto Bettiol. Still, 10th, 14th on the stage. We'll definitely be up there in the timings. Let's speed things up. Let these guys finish the race. Simpson coming in. There's Bull, Van Ginneken, Van Hemlen. They're all pretty close to each other. Garrison well off the back. 23 minutes down, but that should be well within the time constraints. There we go. Not eliminated. Garrison had 2 falls on the stage, so not a good day for him. But at least he's not injured.
And here are the race highlights that we've selected for you.
Alright, so I got 2 riders up there at the top of the timesheets. This should definitely move us into the top 10. Should. We'll see. I know that one of these guys, moving up, Canolo, right? He was 39 seconds down, 43 seconds up, but no time bonus. But that should put him into the race lead by a few seconds. It does. 7 seconds for that. Another breakaway rider there into the top 10. Conchi's up to 6th. Osorio gets the same time. 7th. Okay, he got the same time. That's good. Even though he was dragging behind a little bit. Let's see just how small this group at the front is, though. I mean, we're looking at 2 minutes already to 14th. So Carboni picked up some time from the breakaway. O'Donnell picked up time from the breakaway. Tecchio picked up time from the breakaway. But they're all to the back. And then Canola was the one who was a bit further ahead of those. He was the one that was in that 34, while the other guys hadn't been in that original 34, so they lost time on stage 1. So Canola has enough to move into the race lead, but shouldn't be a threat now that he's in the race lead. Yeah. 71 on hills isn't bad, but definitely not a time trialist. So top 10 position is really starting to look possible, and I think we could still crack the top 5 potentially if things go our way. The most difficult stage is the next one, though. But we'll see. I mean, that was a good amount of climbing. A lot of undulation, a lot of up, down, back and forth. And that puts a lot of wear into the legs. Especially the way that, you know, the game is built, the way the game is structured. So that was not an easy stage for a hill stage. But overall, the field isn't that deep, and that's why I think Conchi and Osorio were still able to be there. Here we go. So stage 4, you can see, is... Ooh, let's go. Oh, we got another race. We got another race coming up. So we've got dual races. I can't send my doctor. I have only one. It's a 1 day. It's a classic. It's 190 kilometers. So we're going to have a break before we get to that queen stage, that climbing stage, stage 4. And we're going to go to La Haya. This one undulates a lot. For as little as there is an elevation change, it is a constant up-down. And I did not bring the type of team for this one. I think I brought the sprint team here. So yeah, Gouillard, Bax, Marini. I've got a couple climbers. Vervecchi, Swerble, so Rudy Millard group. FDJ is at this one. Movie Star is here. Bora Hansgrohe is here. Bahrain Merida. So a lot of the World Tour teams seem to have picked either the other race to attend or this race. Because apparently at this point in the calendar there's no World Tour race to contend with. So they brought their teams here. So just 6 riders for this one, as with Veldeman out injured. This was what I had to choose from. Remember, we had George Simpson filling in Veldeman's spot, so George Simpson was originally slated to participate at this race. But 4 sprinters, 2 climbers. I think I might go for something mixed. I might try to protect 1 climber and protect a couple sprinters. So I might use 1 climber to protect a sprinter, and then use kind of our domestique, whoever, to protect our climber, and then let one of the weaker sprinters protect one of the stronger sprinters, and kind of give it a shot, see if we can't hang on. I mean, this is 4.5, there's 5, 6, 7, almost 7% there for a moment. That's going to eventually do damage. I mean, look how far back Swerble and Marini are just from that little climb. And Swerble's Swerble's on a +4 and a climber, so there's somebody to go for the day. Let's step this up a little bit. Wachtendorf, and relax. There are already 6 riders. Breakaway group has formed very quick in this one, so we're getting 40 ahead already. Here comes Swerble to the front. Comes Marini to the front, and that's now everybody. So Swerble is going to be a protected rider today for sure. Gouillard, I think, is going to be a protected rider. Wachtendorf leveled up. He's 70s now. I like that. Put him into that realm. Vervecchi is the other climber, so maybe I actually use Vervecchi to protect Gouillard. Get Gouillard to the finish. And then we need to protect Swerble. So Swerble, there you go, and Marini or Bax. Well, Marini is a much better climber and on better condition today, so there you go. There's our trio. So we've got 2 sprinters protected, we've got 1 climber protected, Our best sprinter is being protected by our second best climber. And we'll just kind of keep an eye out for that and see how it's going. Right away, though, with all of this undulation, at some point, it's going to be a struggle. So let's up the intensity just enough to make sure we don't suddenly drop out the back. Big lead already for the breakaway group as they're out to over 4 minutes. But with just 6 riders at all this climbing, it's going to do a lot more damage to them. So probably won't be a problem to reel them back in. For the classics, it's rare that you get the breakaway group to win, just because so many people know that you get the overall race win if you win it. It's not just another stage. It's not just another step towards the finish. So you're not saving yourself for another day. It's all or nothing. 155 kilometers to go, so it's a pretty long one. With all this climbing, it's going to do some damage. So let's go faster here. We'll just stay live for this whole race here. But we're going to go ×8 for a while, so I apologize if it's back and forth too quick. Just kind of avert your eyes for a little while until we get closer. Right now, what I'm watching for is making sure that we don't start redlining for anyone. Make sure that we hold our pace. Make sure there's no crashes. If there are, I'll have a quick pause. And then we're keeping an eye out on the distance to the finish line to get water here in the short term. So Wachtendorf is the main domestique today. So Wachtendorf, when the time comes, will be going back to get water. Now, normally I would do this at 120k, but that's for a flat stage. This is definitely not a flat stage. And we are not out of water yet, so I'm going to wait a little bit longer than that, stretch it a little further. Go through water a little bit quicker when you're climbing. Pace is slower. You're working harder to get over what would be considered the same distance. Already under that mark, nearly out on the bottle, so let's go ahead and get water now. Breakaway group's lead already down to 2:45, catching up pretty rapidly to them. And there we go, everybody's got water. With 104 kilometers to go, we'll need to get water one more time before the end of this race. I think pace is going to start picking up here soon, so I'm going to prepare for that a little bit. That little section right there seems to do the most damage, where it hits that 6-7% for a little bit. This one's pretty gradual, looks like 3%. It's about all you get there, so it's really not that intense, giving a decent chance for the sprinters. But that one, that was, I think, 9%, 8% for a moment. So there's 2 spots that seem to do a fair bit of damage, while the rest of it is pretty gradual. It's almost constant up-down, but it's pretty gradual. There's already a split in the field, and it was not related to a crash. I didn't hear anything about a crash. Oh, they've caught back up, though. So somebody in the back end sacrificed a teammate or two to reel us back in. There we go, starting to go red, 71 kilometers now. And the peloton has split again. We're down to 52, 73 riders. So a bit of yo-yoing going on here. Let's go 84. Wachtendorf might not be the guy to get water this time, as he is a bit more fatigued than before. But I'd rather have backs for the sprint. So we will use Wachtendorf again here in a little bit. Peloton only at 73 riders, 55 riders. So still a lot of yo-yoing going off, but we're definitely not at a full field anymore. So field is shrinking. Ooh, Buwani's here. Excuse me. Okay, we are under 60k to go, so I could get water here pretty soon. This is the danger section right here, though. That is a very steep climb. It's short and punchy,
The pack is increasing.
And it does level off for a while, so that's good. But, okay, Wachtendorf, go ahead and get the water now. 54k. By the time he gets back up here, we'll be just fine on that matter. Hopefully he does make it back up. So we'll ride with him. There's the back end of the group already, so, and it's pretty stretched at the back, so it is going to get smaller and smaller. Minute 50 to the chase group, and they're splitting apart. So it's possible that those 14 could make contact, but for the most part, I think we might be down to the winner coming from the peloton as it stands now. And this group's going to get smaller. So Wachtendorf does enough. He gets water. He gets back up there. 47k to go. Wachtendorf isn't going to last much longer, and we're starting to blink red just a little bit on an 84, at least for a sprinter like Gouillard, who's struggling to climb somewhat. So gotta start monitoring that again. Bax is a bit tired. Wachtendorf is a bit tired. Vervecchi, as our second strongest climber, is doing well to protect Gouillard. Again, it could come down to just the climbers at the end, or if we can get our sprinters there, then we'll have a real shot at winning this race. 3 riders have gone off the front. I think Buani was among them. Let me see, is Buani? Yeah, Buani. But they're just right there, so they're about to get caught, so they're just wasting energy riding off on their own. The breakaway group is down to a minute and a half on their lead. I'm certain they'll be caught. Front 3 have been caught, and the peloton is at just 35 riders now. Wachtendorf is just about done here. Swervel, perfect condition right now. His protection from Wachtendorf, though, is about to go away, so I need to replace Wachtendorf with someone else here in a moment. Or not. Maybe he rides alone, because I think it is going to come down to the sprint. Oh, Bax! What happened, Bax? We just lost Bax. Okay. I didn't see that one. Set you to auto. Set you to auto. Bax wasn't even out of energy. Now we have 4. So I've got Vervecchi protecting Gouillard. Marini's still in good shape, so Swervel's going to protect Marini, because this is going to come down to the sprint, I hope. So now my strong climbers are protecting my 2 sprinters. Let's hope that's not a mistake.
He seemed to have neither the energy nor the courage to keep going.
It's a bold plan. Normally, a stage like this, you would think protect the hills, guys, as long as you can. Keep them fresh as long as you can. And don't get dropped, guys. 30 riders. Breakaway group is starting to split apart. They're feeling the pressure of the shrunken peloton. 27 riders now remaining. Inside a minute. They're starting to attack each other. They're not cooperating. That's going to make catching them a lot easier. And the smaller and smaller this group gets, the better my chances. And the smaller this group gets, if Gouillard and Marini are fresh by the end, the better our chances are, because then I'll have sprinters. And a lot of these teams, their sprinters will have been out the back a while ago. So it's an aggressive plan, trying to get the sprinters to the end protected with a chance to fight for it, instead of just protecting the hills guys and then letting them fight for it. But just looking at this profile, right? You just have these 2 little steep sections, and they're not very long, and really we only have to hit those 2 sections 2 more times. We're about to hit them once. I like our chances, I really do. Minute 50. The lead's growing again. The lead is growing again. That is not good at all. Peloton's shrinking a little bit further, just 20 riders. Again, they're splitting, so we need that because... ooh, Barguil going for it. What team is he on now? Fortuneo? I think so. Fortuneo Samsic. But there you go. Fortuneo Samsic. Okay, Barkey. Riding for them, and he's not even wearing number 51. He's not somebody to chase, though. But I think Bognis are both trying to go with him. Those three are trying to go off to win the race right now. I need to stick to my plan. I need a sprint train here in a little bit that can chase. With Vervecchi out front, Swerble second, and then Marini and Gouillard. And there's been a split. I'm going to have to chase those guys down now too. So it's 4 riders just off the front. And now it's 24 riders giving chase as somebody's caught up to us. 13 kilometers. Let me see how much. We've got that one steep section left to go, but this is a really good time to form up. Let's do it. 99. It's going to be... I'm going for Gouillard today. He's on a +2. Gives him a little more acceleration. Nobody's going to beat an 80, right, in a pure sprint, unless they are also good sprinters. And then for Vecchi, he's not going to last long, though. I'm going to use the gel, wait for it to kick in, and then I'm going to start to push here in just a little bit. Okay, for Vecchi. Get these guys back. Got a minute 20 to the break. We got 20 seconds to the 4 favorites here. And Vervecchi is starting to push. 10K to go, and Vervecchi's nearly done. So, Swerble, get ready. We're going to take over here in a moment. You have 2 sprinters behind you, Swerble, so don't push too hard and destroy them. And that's always been Gouillard's problem too, is he gets destroyed. Okay, we've nearly caught the 4. And they are catching the break. 6 kilometers to go. Push for now, push for now.
There are just 5 kilometers left.
Caught the 4. We've caught the 4. Okay, Marini, get ready. Swerble. Swerble, good job. Come on, come on. We are in contention here. Up and over this steep little section. Marini's been ready for a while, but with the uphill, downhill, here's that steepest section. Ooh, Swerble pulled away. Swerble pulled away. Shoot. Where's Gouillard? Where's Gouillard? And ready? Go. Sprint, sprint. Oh, stay to the side, stay to the side. Oh, he's out of energy. He's out of energy. Breakaway group. DeRossi, Molly are going to win it. Gouillard's going to get 3rd potentially. Yeah, he'll hang on for 3rd. They're coming up quick, but... Marini, come on. Sprint. Will you? Get a couple places higher, would you? So we get 3rd. We got 3rd. Amador, Barguil, Mollard, we got past them. So that was the thing. Having those sprinters at the end, we beat the strongest riders, the non-sprinters. So that's a good race for us. Unfortunately, the breakaway group hung on. If the breakaway group didn't hang on, we would have won that race. And I wouldn't have sprinted quite so early, and Gouillard would have still had energy. But close call. 16th, 17th. Vervecchi comes in 27th. That'll be worth some valuable points. Not a win, but a good race. Let's move back to Queen Stage, stage number 4 on the race we've been tracking here. Stage 4 is going to have to wait. I am out of time for this episode. I just took a glance at where I was at on that. So stage 4, stage 5 will continue on into the next episode. For those Continental rankings, we are still on top. 80 points clear. The WB Aqua Protect has vaulted themselves up the standings. And in the Super Prestige, we are still in amongst those World Tour teams. Cofidis and I are both up here inside the top 18. We've dropped a few places from where we were, but mostly coming down to no wins here recently. But solid performances, solid points earned. That's already 697 points, which is a fantastic total, and we're well past 2/3 of the way to where we were last season, and it's only mid-March. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer, and remember, I'm aiming for the best of the best. So if you're ready to join me on my journey, hit subscribe, and tune in next time on my road to the record. Bye for now.